Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, one of the rulers of the underworld, or specifically the ruler of Manga Hell. And today we'll be reacting to the newest chapter of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse series, chapter 48, Departing from Sin. I guess this is a chapter Sin dies because it literally says Departing from Sin. I mean, not gonna lie, it's a big move to have your mascot character die so early in the series. Usually, I would say the writers try to keep it on the end game kind of thing, but I guess Sin's gonna be dying already. I mean, it makes sense. After all, he is just a talking fox. What can he do against four of the Dark Talismans? I'm saying four because there used to be five, but the fifth one got killed like immediately after it. But whatever. I guess we are just going to have to get ready for the death blow. I can imagine it's gonna be a lot of flashbacks, a lot of things like that. And but Nakabari took this from Tabata's book when it comes to like having one single moment happening, but it taking like the entire chapter. That's what's gonna be happening here. We'll be honest. But yeah, anyways, let's get into this chapter already. So we start this chapter off with the characters shocked and surprised that we have Percival and Nauseons and Donnie and the horse even all being like, what? I'm guessing Percival was the one saying what, but everyone's probably saying the same, what? As then we have one of them being like, why are they after Sin? I guess they were expecting that when they say go for the hats, meaning go for the hat, they meant hat as a literal, not figurative. So yeah. So I guess then we have a Fingler being like in any melee, killing the brain is key. Well, unless if you're a demon from Black Clover, where at that point it's the heart. Although I think Magicula had her heart in her head, so who cares about details like that? Needless to say, heart is also useful as a killing thing. As we have thing continue with Night of Prophecy or not, that kid and his pals only survived this long because someone was guiding them. As then we have Satan just respond with, and that's me? I guess he's trying to play kind of dumb. Yeah, it's probably just for his comedy, honestly. He probably accepted that. Is it we have Finger being like, desperation clouded all their eyes. One word from you and it's gone. As then we have Percival running towards him like, Sin! Then we have Finger getting another ball of his and throwing it on the ground. As then like this perfect cube shows up. Which, if I recall correctly, I think this is one of the Merlin spells that she had, and I think she used it against when Bond and Meliodas were fighting, and also when Meliodas and Ascanor were fighting. So I think that's what this perfect cube spell is. But yeah, needless to say, it like holds everyone to get everyone outside. So essentially, it's only them who are gonna be fighting right now. So yeah, then we have Person be like, is that a wall? So what? So I guess Percival's a way like he's showing up to break most walls. And then we go with Percival going to slice shot by just bounces him off. In fact, it seems to like damage him back up. Like he slices, but then goes like, ooh. Like that's a kind of a comedy effect, pushback. So yeah, I guess we are really trying to make us as happy as we can before the tragic death. Anyways, then we have I think Finger talking is like familiar. When I spawned behind the kid in the helmet, you swept his legs to trip him. Confirming what a lot of people thought it happened. Because let's be real, it would be kind of random if Peso just randomly tripped when he's about to get hit with a death blow. Then we have Finger to it. If you don't think the child's head would have rolled way away from it, well away from his body. To be fair, Percival is strong enough that it might just be like a very damaging wound. Like Percival hasn't really gotten like that many, serious injuries, like that many kind of injuries. I mean, yeah, I think except I think the closest one that came to this kind of injury was when he was fighting Ironside, and that attack went straight through him, and we even see the aftermath. Yet he was fine. So I would question if his head would actually roll through it. Well, it was supposed to the car. Forgot how invulnerable he made Percival. I guess we'll see. Although to be fair, Vega is very high level, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's also able to start very powerfully. Then we have Elgin talking like, and you read my wither skill to stop their weapons from withering. I hate how much you knew about us too. I guess he's pointing out to all those characters. They were like, who is that fox? Who is that fox? Then we have Perseverance like serious. Then we have Darby like, what the hell is this? And he's like hitting it, but also with his dagger. Then we have Nausea to be like a magic wall and strong. And he's like also hitting like, although to be fair, but Nausea, you're probably like the one who has like the weakest attack right now. Like there's some debate on where to the rank, namely on where who is the weakest. But Nausea like he's literally just doing this. While everyone else is like he's going full force here. So yes, anyways, then we have Ambi like going for a kick. But all she does that is like, ow, she's like to like jump because it hurt. So yeah. Anyways, then we have Bergin, I believe is how you say her name. And she's like, but most of all, his pinpoint advice made me lose to that girl. True. Although to be fair, I think it wasn't just its pinpoint advice, it was also the fact that you literally had a magic disadvantage. Then we have the Invincible being like, and awakening that long-haired brat skill. He's a danger. Donnie or Sin, because you can apply that to both of them, honestly. I mean, telekinesis can be extremely dangerous. Just look at Tatsumaki for evidence. Or you could apply that to Sin because, you know, he knew the abilities. So yeah, anyways, then we have Finnick being like, yes, my instincts tell me you're the most perilous of them all. I guess that's confirming with Sin. And then we have Finnick being like, you're not the familiar of any old holy knight. You belong to the king of Lyons himself. No. So I guess even familiars. So I guess this is not something unexpected for a familiar to have, but it's more something you expect from like the most powerful people to have this type of level of familiars. So yeah. So anyways, we have Percival hitting the wall. He's like, Sin, hold out. I'll save you. I'm sure you will. Now I don't wait. How strong are these perfect cubes anyways, out of curiosity? Because I think they might have been broken when Melios and Ascanor were fighting, but to be fair, Ascanor was in his one form, so I do have to question that part. But yeah. Anyways, they were Philip being like, familiar, let's make a deal. Leak to us what we want to know and you'll die painlessly. Refuse and you'll die after witnessing a living hell. As we see, I honestly don't know what Persephone are doing here right now. Because Annie's just like pushing it, while not just like bam bam. I think doing the bam thing, maybe now feels weaker for some reason. I don't know. Like to be fair, Not doing the same thing in a previous panel, but still. So anyways, then we have Finger being like, pick one. As we see Sin thinking to himself is like, I guess this is how they're gonna get away from this. As they have simply like, if I ask you to let the children go in exchange, then we have to be like, that will not be possible. Our entire mission is to eliminate the Knights of Prophecy and his band that threatened King Arthur. Which is gonna find that saying there his band of threatening King Arthur while his band are pretty weak. Like, let's be real here. And the Nazians and Donnie are not real powerhouses. I mean, even they stay at basic. I mean, we have stated multiple times during this arc that they cannot defeat 4v4. I mean, the only way, the reason why Donnie and Anne were able to beat was one, good matchups, as well as the fact that Sin told them how to beat the opponents. So yeah, anyways, there we have. But will be like, don't give up. You promised we'll all reach launch together. And then we have Sin be like, Percy. Basically trying to say it's over. This person is like, huh? Is there anything? I mean to tag along with you a bit longer, but looks like this is it. Yeah, pretty much resign his fate into his death. There we have Don be like, no. As well as Nazians and Anne, although they seem to have be like a bit more focused on breaking it. As they seem to be like, what will it be? Well, that's finger being. What will it be? An easy death or a painful one? And then we see that horse running towards it and it's like, balls! Die, you fucking horse. Then we have Simbi like, quit getting drunk off your own crap, dumbass. As he opens his eyes, he completely insults him. It was pretty funny, honestly. Then we have Elgin be like, Yeah, 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 you just a stupid beast. Show these kids just how pathetic his last few seconds will be. As Figure gets his sword out, as they Figure raising his sword is like, you chose poorly. Referencing a movie that I can't remember. I mean, it was actually I think. Wait, was it Kino? No, I think it was something else. But yeah, they have person be like, Sin! As he starts to cry. Then we have Donnie close his eyes and close his eyes and actually starts to cry. Then we have Nazian, he's also doing the same thing, it's just that his head covers their eyes. We see the horse blowing his eyes out. And then we see some survivors they're all staring at. And then I think we have Edgar falling to the ground. And all of them, or better yet, actually no, we see Finnick staring at it, although you can't really tell because we don't see his eyes. We have the Munchies they're staring at, and Barona staring at it. Although, to be fair again, like Figure, we can't actually see her face. Seriously, how the... Okay, can some one of those channels who does, like, medieval stuff do a video on the armors that Holy Knights wear? Because I'm pretty sure that at least half of the Holy Knights wear armor that should be impossible to see through. So anyways, we see that Finger and Sword went to the ground, but Sin disappeared, as one of them is like, probably down again, because it's the bubble is closer to her, and Elgin, but I'm gonna go with Bergen. She's like, he's gone in question. As in, we have the much like, no, actually, we have the much sound is like sounds like, as then we have the much they're going to be like, why those noises? As we see something striking at someone. As we see Elgin being stuck full of arrows, like one at his forehead, one at his neck, one at his heart, two that seem to be in his dick area, as he immediately falls to the ground with Saint behind him. As we have all the rest of the Dark Talisman be like, Elgin! Or the very least, Dol Tremonti screams. Again, we can't tell because the other two have no faces. It's just in their masks. Like, Jesus Christ, those are really taking the whole not show your face. But you're gonna show your butt, aren't you, woman? So yeah. Then we have Dolchemont. No, not Dolchemont. Del More or something with the Invincible, basically. Be like, he's that as he's holding the Agar as he wanted to check to be sure. They have Bergona be like, right at his pressure points, who fired them? I guess that's why he was that. As then we have Sin being behind him, and he starts to have this like weird kind of magic aura around Sin. Is he not gonna die? Surprising, as we have Sin be like, if you're ready to kill, you're ready to be killed too, right? Is there a thing be like, you did it? How? Which is, I guess, true, like, how the heck does a fox kill someone and appear behind them? As then we see somebody like, wanna see it again? I guess, oh great, we're finally gonna get that reveal, aren't we? And with some badass Sin fights. Although, quickly he defeated Algan, this does actually make you question just how much quickly he could defeat some other opponents. So yes, anyways, then we have Dolchmonte, like, well, not Dolchmonte, we have Bergana sending her attacks like, Staff of the Four Elements, I command thee, bring forth Windsickles! Like, you gotta give her credit for being quickly to attack, even though I would probably start running for the hills, if I was her. So yeah, then we have Sin's Vistage also disappearing, as then we have two more arrows coming at, and she hitting her right in the center between her cleavage, and one that seems to be in the same area her heart was hit. Well, with the same area that Anne hit her before. As they her fall on the ground again, and this time shaking. As the other guy is like, Bergie! Oh, that's how I guess you say her name. Bergie. Alright, is she that? I don't know. I'm kind of questioning her, honestly. Then we have for something like Donnie, Nazians, those arrows, as we get... Actually, we do get a flashback this chapter, and that's not actually of those moments that I would say, but actually the flashback of the telescope battle, as we see like the doll that Talisker had being shot with an arrow, as Nazian's like, the same type that took down Talisker's doll. As then Donnie's like, did Sin do that? Yeah, like that is the case. Then we have and be like, what's going on here? which is true. She's completely like she has no idea here at all what's going on. They have that Invincible guy be like, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. As then uh we have Finley being like, no, Doranok, don't use magic force in here. As he uses the impact force, but I just there's nothing but fires everything around and seems to like destroy the barrier. Like we see Elgin's body being slain on the ground, then we see Bergie's body in a rather interesting position be thrown to the floor as blood comes from it. I guess to confirm that she's dead. Honestly, while we're on this subject, I do actually find I wonder if Nakaba had like bigger plans for Bergie. Bergie in the story just he decided or the as decided not to go with it because when we first got to introduce the Dark Talismans, one of the first things we saw was literally Bergie's immortality, kinda. Like, that spear guy flung his spear at Bergie and gave her, like, a giant hole, and then that's kinda it. And then, then she was fine the next second. Now, this is from Mirage, but the fact is they even do it later, or the very least seems to they've done it later when, they were coming to the forest, and they were, like, looking around, which made it look like she kind of snapped her neck. So I'm kind of funny how this like the first time they actually do kill and it's actually going straight up full throttle. Kind of weird, but I guess that is the case. Although to be fair, I could see it then later be revealed that like she's still alive or something. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to say with her specifically. Just it feels like you would think there'll be like a more to it. So anyways, then we have they be like, ugh, damn fool. I guess we know who's the damn fool of the group is. I thought it was gonna be Aga, but I guess it's Dolchimon. Is there Dolchimon be like hoof hoof? Is there we have a shadow and a figure in it? As Dolchimon looks it down at him, he's like, why didn't that? It's like, why didn't that blow you away? As then we see a figure, young boy, hitting Dolchimon in his stomach. And then just one little touch, like not even a fist, just like this, immediately makes Doljimon bleed from his mouth, nose, his eyes, like just my god, it looks like his head is gonna explode, honestly, just from one hit. Then he sends his this sin removes his hand from it, makes a fist, and then goes straight for a punch and moves straight through Dochimon's body. Now, to be fair, that doesn't really mean much because you know how anime works, where people can move their skins behind, but yet they don't die. But it's still significant as he's like just bleeding from his eyes. So I guess he has that from that. Then we a face of Dochimon's Talon Owl as his dying eyes, as in he's immediately, and then the next part is literally Dochimon immediately being cut in half by Fiddich as Alice covers her hand, goes into Percival to cover from the gore. He's like, ah! I guess that's why she didn't kill Bergie, because she's too much of a lust from it. As Percival's just staring at it. As then we see like Dutchman just falling on the ground with blood going all over between Sin and Fiddich. As then we have Sin in his human form be like, no mercy for your allies, huh? What an asshole. As then we have Fiddich be like, your attack had already taken his life. Name yourself. So yeah, he was dead already when Fiddich killed him. Although to be fair, Fiddich killed one member of his squad at the beginning just for being like under some mind control, so you are a bit of an asshole. Like you can say it's because of he was already dead, but you would have done it even if he was still alive. So as then we have Don be like, what? Whoa. And then I was just like, is that Sid as they're holding on to Percival? As then we have the was like, so you're not a fox? Funny that he says that, since I thought there was implication that the host knew what fox really was. Although by looks of things, it seems like actually the cube didn't actually get destroyed by looks of things because it seems like they were still like in the cube. I guess that's the case, but I thought it was gonna be a different thing. So then we have Percival be like, who are you? As there we have the reveal. It turns out that Sin, the character who's been speculated for so long on who he really is now revealed to be Lancelot. Oh. Actually, everyone was saying Lancelot. It seems like every time it's been brought up, it was going to be revealed that it was Lancelot, so it's not really a surprise that he's Lancelot, but let's be happy that it's revealed finally and people can finally celebrate for being right. Everyone who thought it was Lancelot, give yourselves a round of applause. So yeah, we have Lancelot here. And although we don't get like a good view of Lancelot, so this 5-page arc is obviously the best we got of him. He's not even like a full body view, just like some of his, good majority of it. But we generally just have this, but his design is like, a bit older, or maybe maybe the same age as, I think Lancelot is the same age as Percival, so he looks like, honestly, what I would say most 16-year-olds would look like. His hair is a bit like more like, edgelord kind of. He seems like wear like this kind of sleeveless jacket with a, with a hood. I think that's supposed to be the hood, but I could be wrong. Then we see a little bit of a bow, and he seems to have more special looking bow. Which actually does make sense because one of the four Knights of the Apocalypse was a bow use, I believe the Conquest one, or the first one. So I guess it does make sense why he'll have a bow. It's questioning if he's gonna keep a bow, if he's gonna go back to swords, because as you remember, when the first picture we got of all four of the Knights of the Apocalypse, I think one had a battle axe while two had swords or something. Like, I think it was a pretty imbalanced type of thing, but yeah. Oh, was it a scythe? I don't know, I'm pretty sure that I think it was a spear and two swords. Yeah, it was a spear and two swords. So yeah. Also, Sin has, or Lancelot has this like scar over on his forehead. So yeah, I think he got that when he was a child, but we'll see. Honestly, Bond's genes really do look like they went into him. So yeah. So Lancelot is back, and now we're gonna have the battle between Lancelot and Fiddick. What I feel like all of you were actually predicting was gonna happen in this. So we'll see if that's the case. So we'll see how this is gonna go next chapter. I'm guessing the next chapter is mostly just gonna be like Lancelot showing up again and showing how much strong he's than Fiddick, within ending it with Pelagard showing up and then Lancelot and Pelagard are gonna be battling or something. I mean, Pelagard did say he was gonna come, so we'll see how this is gonna go. Now, the thing I would imagine is, if my memory serves me correctly, Lancelot disappeared with Jericho when he went to the lake or something, which does refer to the actual Arthurian legends about Lancelot. So I am curious on where Jericho is, because you'd think that, they would be kind of together, or maybe like there's some kind of tragic story to it, like similar to how like the woman who freed Askenor kind of was just like the backstory character to help Askenor, and then she died when we found the status update. So maybe that's gonna be when we're going with Jericho and Lancelot's story. I don't know. It's very early to say. And who knows, maybe Jericho is happily in Lyones. I mean, it does seem like uh, like Lancelot left, came back relatively early on, and then joined the Lyones, so maybe. So yeah, anyways, this is it for the chapter. I hope you like this reaction. I hope you leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. Tell me in the comments below what you think of the chapter. And with that said, I can't wait to see all your motos next time. And now, if you excuse me, I have to go get the setup ready for the new villains that are coming here. Well, if Fire Force is gonna be giving me hell with taking away, I guess at least 4 Knights of the Apocalypse are giving me villains to enjoy. And that's it. Goodbye. Before the hell falls down to the ground, or burns down to the ground, more accurately.